Okay, we're rolling.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Welcome to
Inside Out.
Inside Out, yeah. I was going to say 1989 era. I guess we're kind of both the 1989 era today.
I guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
I think mine's 2016. When did 1989 come out? Yours is definitely 1989 because remember that was the whole
I know
1975
but what year?
Right. That's what I would like to know. If you guys are not watching, and for the listeners viewing or listening, Jamie and I are dressed up today as our, would you say, favorite Taylor Swift era?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
this
what
is
we
mine for sure.
This is mine too. And actually I was looking at pictures, if you guys let me further explain. I am dressed up as Bleachella Taylor, which is my all-time favorite, and then Jamie's dressed up as Taylor's Twee Taylor, but also wearing 1975 merch, going to Maddie's shows.
I have my sunnies on.
Partying with them. Yeah, there we go. See, we're in sunny mode today.
Yeah.
What year?
So slight. I can't find it.
Oh. It has to
They're
be
all pictures from
it's probably 2015 or 2014.
Oh, November 23rd, 2014.
Okay, 2014. So 2014, I'm 2016, Taylor. And this is first of all for Halloween. Mm-hmm. Second of all to celebrate this weekend, the premiere opening weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was so perfect.
It was a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
I actually saw you every single day this weekend.
Yeah.
Friday,
crazy.
Saturday,
that
and
never
Sunday.
happens.
I know, it really never ever does happen.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful and it was very fun. I felt fulfilled. I haven't had a weekend where I feel fulfilled in a really long time, and I feel like I felt very fulfilled going to see that twice.
Me too, for sure.
Like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we're going to be talking about eventually in this episode, the topic is being in your 20s. Mm-hmm. We're both in our 20s in very different phases of our 20s because we're 5 years apart. So Jamie's lower 20s.
Yeah.
Just barely in your 20s, actually.
Barely. Not even a year in. Oh, wait. Not even. I am a year.
You're
I feel like I don't count 20 in my head is in your 20s for some reason.
Right. You're
starts at 21.
Prepubescent 20s.
Yeah.
I'm geriatric 20s. That's my new saying for everything. Is just I'm just going to call it geriatric
apparently.
everything. I learned a new word. Anyway, before that, we're going to do our ins and outs, of course. And I'm gonna guess one of yours was the movie.
Yeah.
I want to hear your rating.
100 out of 100.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
And especially looking back at her old ones, I think this is definitely her best movie.
I agree. It's different from all of the other movies, but just because it's only the concert and no, it's not
nothing else. But I do feel was Reputation like there, or was there a little bit other?
Reputation, the Miss Americana one?
Yeah.
That was her a documentary.
Okay,
kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because and then remember because if you look at back at the 1989 one and the Red era, there's editing in them and it's so distracting looking back.
Right.
Yeah. This one is purely
just the
show.
Just the show. It was so fun.
And it's so cool to see it from different angles too. And even if you were up above, I feel like you can see her facial expressions so perfectly and hear every little note. We went to, obviously AMC has the, what is it? IMAX and Dolby Atmos.
Right.
Right.
Like that.
Those are the two we went to, and it was crazy. I actually was not expecting it to be as intense
it felt
of a sound.
So real.
Right. You thought you were there.
Every time we were singing and it would go a little bit quiet, I was like, oh, no one else is singing.
I know.
I know there people were, but I couldn't hear them.
No.
But I thought the other people were people around me were because of the sound.
You can hear
it felt
the people
so
singing.
real.
They had mics in the crowd, I think.
Yeah.
To where people were singing.
It was so cool.
And it was trippy. Mm-hmm. But we had such a good time.
Yeah.
We got our buckets and our cups. Oh my gosh.
I know. I brought my cup up. I made my coffee in it this morning.
That's genius. That is genius.
I thought I would show it off because it's my new prized possession.
Mm-hmm.
Prized
artifact. Or it will be.
I'm going to bring it every day to work. Make everyone make it known I'm a Swiftie.
I am a Swiftie. Yeah, because you can't really wear merch, can you?
No, I do wear my cardigan sometimes to work though.
Okay, that's a
one's
good
like,
work attire. Actually,
I
like,
know, it's so cute too.
subtle. Like,
I get a lot of
merch
compliments
things.
on it too.
I bet. Do people know that it's Taylor? Or they just think it's cute.
They just think it's cute usually, and they're
see.
like, and then I'll point it out and be like, yeah, it's my Taylor Swift merch.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, okay, she's a Swiftie. Yeah,
because if you do it right, you can wear it like with a cute skirt, with some dress pants. It's so cute.
You know what's crazy? I have the red version of it, and Jamie has the OG folklore one.
Yeah, perfect and amazing.
Yeah, she really won life on that one.
I will say, because I feel like I usually don't order anything like that.
Yeah,
and like, even at that time, like, I remember ordering it. I was in the Target parking lot. Like, I'll never forget it.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything happens in those parking lots.
I know. I, like, remember. I don't know why I remember it so vividly, but I was like, I'm just going to do it. Yeah. And I did it. And now everyone wants it. Yeah. So I feel like
you are special.
Literally the most amazing human being ever.
I know. And we were talking about it, too, while we were there, because Jamie went through a phase, like, a few years after Folklore came out. Can I say this? And that you wanted to sell it.
Oh yeah.
Jamie was like in her like business era. She says I was
in my girl bossing era, and I was like, what can I sell to make any dime?
Yeah. And she pondered.
And
I said,
love
Jamie,
that
don't.
For me.
You are going to regret it. I know.
Yeah.
I said no.
I was grinding a little too far.
Normally I'd say sell everything, but not those things.
I know. Well, I'm a hog for merch anyways. I have like
a hog. I like that. I like that term. A merch hog.
I am a merch hog. I have a whole big tub of merch
Jamie,
from throughout the years. I've never ever have gotten rid of a single piece of merch without me knowing at least.
I don't think that you've ever gone to a concert and not gotten merch.
I know.
Whereas
exactly.
I have. You haven't.
No, I've only ever gone to a concert and not gotten merch by only getting a poster.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's my new way of not getting merch, but still getting merch.
Yeah, because then you'll have that forever, unless your cat screws it up like mine do. But
yeah, mine do too. But
yeah, but you still do have it forever. You can savor it.
I know. Mom went into that closet one time and she was like, "Do you want this still? Because it's all ripped up." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she's like, Okay. I was like,
once you put it in a frame, you'll never be able to tell.
Exactly. I don't care if there's holes in it. It's vintage.
In 50 years when you get that frame, yeah.
No,
I can't. I know.
I'll have it forever.
Exactly.
There's tape on the corners.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Then it's a true artifact. Like, this thing was loved on.
Exactly.
Loved on. I should brought my Taylor Swift cutout. That would have been even fucking more epic.
Next year, yeah, exactly. I was telling Jordan that we're gonna really plan our next year costumes out because we literally are liars. We failed this. We failed ourselves. Really,
we fail always. Like, we're just fucking failures.
Well, I just need to really prep because Halloween.
Preppers.
Yeah, maybe. We're just peppers.
Yeah, we're just peppers, no preppers. All pep, no prep.
Exactly. Yeah.
So dumb.
Because I freak out at Halloween. I'm like, what am I gonna be? And I think about it too much, so I need to do it in July.
Yeah.
And order them all.
Yeah.
And have them ready.
Honestly, I'm on that train.
Yeah.
You know? Because I feel like everyone says this every year, but these things sneak up on you, and I'm starting to get anxious about Christmas because now everyone's talking about gift guides and stuff, and I'm like,
telling
fuck.
you, really? I know. Except it makes it a lot better that our family has new traditions. Yeah,
we've started new traditions that make it a lot less. I think we mentioned last episode we do elephant, whatever, the
White elephant
stuff.
yeah, and Secret Santa, all that.
Yeah, and so it's you're not buying us. I mean, I have other people I have to buy for too.
Right.
And I love doing it. That's the thing.
That does make it a lot easier.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think it's not even because I do like shopping for people, and I think if I start sooner rather than later, it's more fun. Mm-hmm. But I think whenever I get anxious, I'm like, okay, I need to decorate. I need to do work things. I'm like, do I want to do Vlogmas? I don't know. All of those things. And then I need to you need to get ideas for people. I'm like, I have been writing things down, I feel in my notes app for a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's thinking
so
and because I like getting the perfect. That's the thing.
That's
Gift giving is so fun. Yeah.
It's so fun, but I have to make it perfect because
beautiful.
I always explain this on every single birthday. I always say this to Mom that I'm like, I just feel like it's not finished yet, this present. I need a few more things.
Yeah.
I'm very particular with it doesn't even have to be a good gift, but I'm it can't just be random things.
No, it has like a whole purpose and aura to it. And like, this is for you. Yeah. Like, then this couldn't be for like anyone else. This is a gift for you. For you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. But I will say that's why I think both of us are very good gift givers. Yeah. I will pat us in the back for that. Yeah. Right? I always like, I think like I look forward to your gifts because like, me too. You know, it's so fun. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh my God.
She knows me.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's it too. Like, I feel like that does help too.
Right. It does.
But at the same time, like, I feel like I don't ever tell you my shopping wish list, but you always just know it, you know? You just kind of like know. You're like, well, yeah, I guess I know. I think I just know the vibe.
Yeah, and then I'll see. Like I told you, I have a whole folder in my TikTok app dedicated.
Jamie said this, and I thought that was the most interesting, most genius thing. Did we say this on the podcast? I don't know.
So.
Oh,
I don't know.
It wasn't in real life. I can't remember. But it's starting to get fuzzy. But she said she has a folder on TikTok for every single person. When she sees something that they would like, she saves it to that. I'm like, that's genius because then
it makes my life a lot easier because I can just go back in and at the time of Christmas be like, and then it gives me a little inspo if I don't like it exactly.
Fucking genius.
It's so good.
Yeah, because then you don't have to go like to that notes app and then you get distracted halfway through and then you end up never
or like your screenshot folder.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go through that exactly. Yeah, right. It's like when you think you see it and you're like, oh my God, I'm so gonna look back at this.
Exactly.
That's me with
never.
No.
I know. I gotta stop with the screenshots.
Me too.
Also, I'm putting this out here now. Mm-hmm. I am doing a social media cleanse.
Okay. Yes.
November 1st, baby.
Yes.
Jordan was like goofing on me because I said like 18 days or like 16 days until
my countdown.
And
and I said
because I'm preparing. I'm mentally preparing myself because I want to do it and I've always wanted to do it.
Right.
There's a few exceptions and I watched that video that you
was it good?
Sent me? Yeah, yesterday.
Or you
sent me a few days. You did it?
It
was a really good video.
Oh, really?
You should watch it.
It's called like, what is it? Like limiting my screen time to 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, and I really liked like the way she did it. I should look up who we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
it kept being recommended every time I would upload the podcast on YouTube. It was only recommending me on like the Inside Out YouTube thing.
Really?
So then I kept seeing it and I saw that one day. I was like, oh, this is what Jamie needs.
It is. It was perfect.
Yeah. It's doesn't resonate with me, but
yeah, I thought it would. Reducing my screen time to 30 minutes a day by Michelle Gia. And yeah, so she literally had like a thing on her. She had like a widget that showed you how much screen time.
Oh.
And she would only do like for 30 minutes a day. So she would be like on her lunch break and be like, well, I just replied to a text and that took like 4 minutes.
Wow,
like it was
so
like
not
that.
even replying to texts because I guess you could text all day.
I know, and that made me think. I'm like, wow, there's so many ways like you wouldn't have thought like that. Yeah. Like, because I think of like my screen time. I'm doing it more like social media. I just kind of want to be like off the grid a little bit.
Yeah. She's running away.
Yeah. I just need a reset.
Yeah.
But she did that whole thing of like texting. There's so many ways of like texting, of looking at your like reading a text, like any of it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy.
It's so interesting to me.
It is. And like she was talking about how like Spotify was open for a few minutes and like it really drained her. But and then she was saying how like her phone battery lasted for like 3 days.
Oh, I bet. Mine would last
I was like,
forever.
that's fascinating, really.
Yeah.
See,
maybe social media is bad for the earth.
Right. It probably is.
Always on one, but yeah.
It's bad for,
it's draining.
It's climate change, really.
Jamie's an activist now. This is why she's going on her cleanse.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
saving electricity.
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm keeping Pinterest and YouTube.
Okay.
Because those are not toxic to me.
Right.
And those are not... Those are for me. Those are for
Those
mommy.
are mental health. Yeah. Those are those are therapist approved.
Exactly. Like those are
They're
doing
not draining.
good for me.
Yeah.
No.
But Pinterest can be like an addiction. Like I feel it sometimes in my bones where I can't get off that damn app.
Really, I don't have that problem because I want at some point in Pinterest I get a little sick of it.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm like I love it, but I'm like I've
seen all these.
Yeah, I just have seen enough.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like that's it. And I get a little bit bored.
Yeah.
But,
sometimes
my whole reason of this is like I want to start reading more, and I want like these habits of like I know I can do it with my apps, but I know if I don't have them in my life, it will be a lot easier because I'm like, oh, I'm bored. I want to go pick up a book.
Right. You'll actually do the things then. Yeah. Commit.
It really is for me.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I love that for you, honestly. And
that has to do with my early 20s. If we're in my early 20s,
she's starting to develop.
Right. I need something to like. I need a glow up.
She's growing up.
She needs to
She's
grow
gonna
up.
grow up into the glow up. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You know, that makes so much
like
sense.
A switch of pace.
Yeah, and I just feel like like there are some people who don't benefit from social media at all, and I think you're one of them. Like, I think you should go live in the middle of the woods in a cave. Like,
and I think I could. That's why I'm like saying like social media really means nothing to me.
That's what I'm saying.
End of the day,
and I think that you would thrive off of it.
And I really look up to, like, I always see those TikToks of like, there's that one sister who's always on Instagram and stuff, and then they have the sister who's literally like doesn't reply to their texts, doesn't have anything, any social media. I'm like, wow, I resonate with that. Like,
I agree.
I like just see myself like that.
Right. I resonate. I think that like, I mean, I don't resonate, but I think like it's so, I love.
Like, I look up to it.
Yes, exactly. I think it's
exactly.
so admirable.
It is.
The people who like, you can't, if you wanted to look someone up from high school, you can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, they're off the grid. Like, they're like,
you don't know where they've been.
They're in the lake.
Yeah. They might be in Minnesota. They might be in like Japan. You do not know. And they don't care.
I literally love that.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that.
I do too.
But
so that's your next life.
Exactly. And we'll see how it might last for like a week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually planning anything, but I'm like, I at least want to do it till Christmas.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I told her. I said, then you can go back on and show off all the gifts you got. Like, what
I got for Christmas, but like posting it on my story.
That's what people used to do. I'm not on Snapchat. I haven't been for a really long time. Like actively. And when in high school, that's what people used to do, is they would go on their stories every day, every like holiday, show off what they
everything
got.
Or like my era was like, not mine, but like people in my grade would be like, they would spread it all out and just like do one picture.
Yes, exactly. Like, right. Or like all
thanks mom and dad.
Yeah, exactly. I never partook, but I think that it's so fascinating, and I think like that's what you should do. Come back and just like fucking flex on everyone. Look at what Jordan got me, and it's a
Louis Vuitton. Give me one.
Dropping hints.
Pay your dues.
That's so good.
Well, and I'm inspired by all the Hinge boys who only ever ask for your Snapchat, and I want to be the girl who's like,
I don't have it.
I don't have Snapchat.
That's what. Even if you
and
did
I can
Snapchat,
just delete.
You say that shit.
I know. I always do that too. I'm like,
Snapchat.
Well, first of all, I just delete them anyways because I'm like, I don't need that energy.
Yeah.
Snapchat, you're 24.
Yeah. You are almost mid-20s.
Like, something's off.
Yeah.
With that.
I think like once you're asking for that as your means to connect with someone, like, and talk, that's what I think. Converse, like maybe text and then you add on Snapchat and then to like further communicate, but maybe not like solely.
I would even take Instagram over Snapchat.
Yeah.
Be like, what's your Instagram?
I would think you would learn more about someone from having their Instagram or Twitter. You would learn a lot from someone from having their Twitter.
Threads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So, interesting.
Yeah. That's my little spiel.
We love that. I love your new era.
Thank you.
We are supporting you as Inside Out and the viewers and listeners. We support Jamie on her journey to becoming nobody.
I love that.
But everybody.
Everyone and everything.
Yeah,
all at once.
You can be a nobody, but everything all at once.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It is spiritual and it is beautiful.
But I was thinking, how will I get my news updates? Because I don't watch the news.
What?
I mean, like pop culture news, like
podcast. You can't listen to podcasts.
Well, I guess podcasts like H3 says like
every.
She's a podcast.
Do moi, yeah. Do you? Do university.
Okay.
I'm a student. I'm top of the class. Actually,
Valedictorian is a student.
Yeah. She has podcasts, but there are definitely pop culture podcasts.
Okay, I'll have to find some.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I listened to some. I forgot that I could do that there.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's any like big like update, like Taylor gets married, you'll have to.
Well, yeah, I send you those anyway, like on text if I something like crazy,
right?
And especially if you're not on the TikTok, I gotta get it to you somehow.
I'm gonna miss TikTok, really.
Oh no.
I'm mourning it.
She's already like thinking this. Like, wait, but I really do like that app. Maybe I'll just squeeze in 10 minutes of TikTok. Turns into like 4 hours.
Yeah,
because then you're depriving yourself.
No, literally.
So you're like, ooh. Interesting.
Sad, really.
Yeah. Did you know that Bleachella actually was in 2016 and Taylor Swift was 27 years old? So I've decided when she was Bleachella, yeah. Oh. And I am 27 next year, and so I think that's my year to go Bleachella.
Okay.
Maybe I'll plan it because I'm just like one of those like the
night before your birthday. You should go Bleachella.
Oh my god,
it's like Reputation.
I know
Bleachella.
That would be so epic. But I'm thinking like, would I do it? Would we do it ourselves, or would I go?
We could have a sister date.
Okay.
Go to the salon together.
Oh.
We haven't done that before. That would be really fun.
We've never done that. Yeah. I've only gone to the salon like 5 times in my life.
I've only gone once ever. Well, okay, that's not true.
Yeah, I was just gonna let you go, but
I was thinking about it and I was like,
as an adult,
yeah, I've gotten to like haircuts
once. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever got my hair like colored at a salon,
right?
Like a real salon.
Yeah. Right. We had our aunt growing up who did hair, and we would do
fuzzy
it
in my brain.
Yeah. I get you.
Anyways, that made me think of you looking at your notes over there is killing me.
It's like script line.
She looks over there.
Yeah, my notes over there because we're filming on my phone right now because I forgot those SIM card.
It was literally so funny to watch. You glanced at it.
I thought I was hiding you behind these.
Yeah.
You can't see. I'll just go like this, Jamie.
It's like extra dark because your glasses are dark and then mine are.
I know.
So I'm like, where is she looking?
I know. And to me, I'm just like, I feel like I'm not like a human.
I know. That's what I'm feeling right now. But I kind of like it. I like this alter ego.
Yeah.
With my winged eyeliner on.
She looks so sexy. So sexy. Like, you look like a hoe in the best way. I love Jamie with a wing liner. I do. I love anyone with a wing liner. I think everybody's... I'm just kidding.
Why don't you have wing eyeliner
because
on? I feel like you do always.
I do always.
I guess she didn't in that era.
She didn't because she had very minimal makeup and she had like red lips or dark burgundy lips. And I chose red. But I should have gone burgundy because I went downstairs because I borrowed Jared's wafers. The glasses, the Ray-Bans.
I literally thought you meant like vanilla wafers.
I don't know how the fuck you say that. Wayfarers. Look at
me.
See it?
Wayfarers.
Anyway, he has Ray-Bans and I borrowed them and I went down and he was like, oh, you like that? He was hyping me up and then I was like, do you know who I am? And he was like, no, I can't figure that out.
Really?
Yeah. And then I said, okay, well, I'm obviously like Bleachella. And then he was like, oh, like whatever. And then I was leaving. He was like, you could be Marilyn Monroe in that wig. I was like, that's who you thought I was. Like literally, that's who you thought I was.
I feel like from like up, like
here up, yeah,
here up. You can actually.
But it's because this wig I had this wig from last year.
It's a really good wig.
It is. It was Amazon. It's like too thick. I kept feeling. I'm not one of these people who think people like are looking at me, but like I genuinely on the way here I thought people looking at me like, you know, like because there was construction and so they had to do like you had to stop in front of the person, like the guy's standing in the middle of the road. I'm just sitting here it was like in the morning in my white wig and like red lips.
Really like. Major side eye
looking like this and smiling. And then I kept going, but I swear this guy was turning like he was in a big truck. He was turning this way while I was sitting at a red light, and he like was looking like went like this. I swear I'm not that person.
Like what's that movie? Not Gone Girl, but like wait, Gone Girl's Gone Girl, where she like dyes her hair and like her whole identity.
Yeah, that's you. Wait, I kind of love that. Yeah, I am Gone Girl. Maybe that's where she got that.
Gone Girl Taylor Swift version.
Taylor's TV version. Gone Girl TV. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Now every time I look at my notes, I know I'm being watched.
Okay, I was at the dentist the other day, and that's what I was going to say earlier. Yeah, I went. I got my teeth cleaned.
Look beautiful.
Thanks. I actually don't have any cavities except I need like a filling because my other filling broke. But that's
it. It's on a new cavity.
Yeah.
See, we love to hear that. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's evolving.
But I was thinking. Well, I was okay. Whenever we were talking about the salon thing, where I was like, "Wait, I lied." I did that at the dentist the other day, and I realized that I lied.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but I was literally like, it was like one of the colder days out last week.
Yeah,
remember when it was like finally really cold?
Yeah,
and she was like, "Is it nice out? I haven't been outside like in the since earlier this morning." I was like, "Yeah, it's nice. It's really cold." And I was like, she was like, dang, like she really didn't like the cold weather. And I was like, I know, me neither, but I was like, cold weather is like my favorite weather.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why did I just do that?
One you kind of have to, because people are so passionate about that it's just like, oh well, I love it.
But I almost feel like I almost like brought it up in a way. I was like, I know, it's just like you can't like it's like the awkward weather where you don't know what to wear. I was like, you know what I mean?
Well, I think but that's like a really easy topic to talk about with people. So that's I know. And you know what other people's opinions are. Everyone in Michigan
sat back in the chair.
Yeah,
and I was like, it got a little quiet. I was like, that didn't resonate with me.
Yeah, you're like, who said that? Who was that in there?
Literally, who was that though?
Split. That was someone else.
It was. Yeah. Someone took over my body. Her name is Rue.
Rue. Rue. R-U-E?
Yeah.
Like from Euphoria.
The first name that came to mind.
I like that. Rue. Jamie and Rue. Okay. We like that. I'm going to start calling you that.
Rue would pose like this.
Rue gives a peace sign and tongue to the side of her mouth.
Jamie's like this.
Yeah, Jamie's sultry. Rue's fun. Rue's kind of a liar. Rue kind of just talks.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I need to tap into her more.
Wait, we like that. Yeah, you can always just give yourself another little
I know, that's what I need in my
friend.
Life.
Yeah.
A little friend.
friend. But yeah, interesting. Okay, we like that. Speaking of Euphoria, speaking of The Idol, I now want to watch The Idol because I watched a Troye Savon interview last night on Zach Sang.
Yeah.
I am calling it now.
I need to watch that.
What?
I need to watch that.
Yeah. I think I'm obsessed with Troye Savon now. And, you know, I feel really, really bad because I did not include him in my pop star roundup when I was like, who are the next pop stars? Remember a few episodes ago?
Oh my God, I didn't either.
Troye Savon
and he is the pop star.
Pop star. He's like and
he's killing it lately.
Yeah.
Happy Little Pill.
Oh.
Do you remember that song?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a Troye Savon stan.
What is his biggest youth? He said he's not performing Youth again.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I don't know, that music video I watched last night with what's his name in it from Austin and Ally.
The one everyone's obsessed with.
Austin and Ally. What?
Everyone's obsessed with him.
Yeah, Ross Lynch. Thank you. Ross Lynch was in it. Yeah, thank you. And it was such a good song and music video. And then I listened to his album, and that album is so good. And it's so like, I mean, if you like Charlie XCX, you would so like it because it's so dancey and fun.
Who, Troy?
Yeah. And I'm dying over it. I think he's a pop icon. Pop star.
He's so fun and like the
oh yes, I know.
It's literally like ruling my life. I want that song permanently stuck in my head.
I know. He said that. I think that's the one that he got to get the license and they gave it to him because he's Australian.
It was so cool. I saw that they said that about him. It was like, that's
so cool.
Iconic.
I know.
And his little dancey dance he does.
Yeah. Very good at dancer.
He's a dancer.
I know. He said he used to think he couldn't dance, and then he started doing
it.
Good at it. He's really good at it. It's so entertaining. I love it when people sing and dance. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what's next on your list?
Slay. Dentist lying. That's how my notes go in my head. I'll just write one line throughout the week, and I'll have to deal with it later.
You're like, notes done.
Literally. We'll leave it there.
If I do like that, I never remember what I mean.
Marty and Gilmore Girls. That's it. I was watching Gilmore Girls, and I was like, Marty is such a, you haven't gotten there, I don't think, but he's such an underrated character. And I wish they dated, but you wouldn't get it.
Marty with what? With Rory?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Marty's a guy.
Okay, yeah. I just was like, Marty sounded like more of an older adult name to me, and so I was thinking like
his name is Marty, Lorelai. Right? You got me double guessing his name. His name is Marty.
Maddie, and you're getting it so wrong.
Marty. Marty's so cute. Anyways,
okay. When is that coming up?
It's when Rory goes to college.
Oh, I'm not even close to that yet.
Yeah. Okay. You at least have to make it to her high school graduation. That's the best episode.
No, I'm still working through it. I watch like I told you, I watch like one a day-ish.
Okay, good.
You know?
Yeah.
But not really, but like once every couple of days.
If you love me, you would watch it more.
I know.
Manipulating you.
I'll go home and watch it, sorry.
Thanks.
That's the last thing I want.
To watch it?
No, is you to feel so unloved by my character.
Thank you.
Yes.
Someone finally cares.
Yep.
I played with my Switch for the first time ever lately.
Really?
Yeah. I got all my updates. I was playing Animal Crossing. I was trying to play Stardew Valley, but I don't like that game. I can't get into it. Jared likes it, but I can't.
That's what he's been playing again lately.
I can't play it. It's so confusing. Maybe he needs to like teach me it, but I cannot figure it out.
He probably has to teach you it. That's the one that has those interesting noises, huh? Right? The whole time? Oh. But it makes like all the characters every time. I'm like, what is that? And then I realize what it is. It's like the game.
Yeah. I just need to bring my Switch over.
Yeah. He'll teach you.
I'm literally like lost.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've never even tried to play it, but he says that he thinks I would like it.
I know.
But it like does look fun.
It does.
You know? But I do like Animal Crossing because it's kind of just cut and dry, straightforward, you know?
Yeah, and I was, because I told you I would keep watching Sims video at night, like Little Simsy on Twitch, but on her YouTube channel.
Right.
And she's like iconic, and she sometimes plays Animal Crossing. And like one time I woke up in the middle of the night and my phone was still on, and it was on one of the Animal Crossing ones.
Like, I need to play.
And it was so entertaining. It was like one of the times you wake up at like 4 a.m. randomly, and you like end up just like watching something for a little bit.
I get you.
It's like a peaceful way to fall back asleep.
Yeah. Especially Animal. Oh my God, that would be. I should start watching those things.
It really puts you to sleep.
For sure, yeah.
It's like really relaxing.
Yeah, I believe that.
But yeah, that's why I started again.
Yeah, I like that. This weekend was Minecraft Live. Whoever plays Minecraft listening, I know I'm sure there are some of Jared's viewers who listen that randomly found me. But if you guys don't know, Jared I don't know what am I saying? Where am I going with this, Jordan? I don't really say that. Anyway, there was Minecraft Live this weekend.
Same thing.
What? Where I was going with that? You're like, wait, what are you saying?
I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was watching it. Jared was showing it to me because he does work with that. And I'll just leave it there. And Alec Benjamin was on it. Oh, yeah, I was telling Jamie that Alec Benjamin was performing on it, and I thought that was so iconic. Like, obviously, we are Minecraft fans in our house, and I just thought it was so iconic. He played hit one of his big songs. Oh my God, I can't think of it right now.
Water Fountain.
No, but I love that one too.
Which one?
But it drove me back into a hole of loving Alec Benjamin so much, and I just think his music is so good and iconic, and I can't wait for his new album. I think he's gonna drop it soon, hopefully, or I think he's working on it. I don't know if he's gonna drop it.
His album is so good.
I know. It's just like, yeah,
it's like so cozy and like different.
Yeah, and I think what makes me like it so much too is how good he is live. Like, I think he's someone who we've seen repeatedly, and he's really good. Yeah, he just gives off good energy and stuff, so I liked that. What else?
We made Ghosts this weekend. That was on my list.
Yes, we did.
That was the second night of us hanging out on this weekend.
Yep, we actually did. We actually did something on the bucket list.
We actually did, and it was
so
a
crafty
fun
night with Mom.
And yeah, because I was like, when are we going to make these freaking ghosts?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, we have 2 weeks left.
Yeah, exactly.
Until Halloween.
Right. Literally. Yeah, even Jamie was on it. She says, come on, guys.
I know. I was like, text Jordan. I said, text Jordan. I said, text Jordan, tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, see?
So she texted you. Yeah. I was like, thankfully. Yeah. Like,
it worked
out. My God. It was fun.
Yeah, I agree. It was very
fun.
We
like DIY little ghosts for like decor.
Yeah.
Like standing ghosts. It was a vibe.
It was so cute. I put mine on my porch, and the first day that I put them out, they kept falling over, and I was so embarrassed because my neighbors were on a walk, and I had to go out there and pull them up, and I was like, and it's the only Halloween decor I have out there too, so it's just 2 ghosts sitting there. But yeah. Oh, also we decided that Jamie's aura is midnight rain color.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that is her aura. Like, that's the aura she gives off. We got an aura paint or like aura picture.
I really want to go do that.
I do too. I saw
really
badly. Now I want to do it.
That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, she's midnight rain.
What's yours?
What color?
What's the vibe?
Bright pink.
Okay.
I don't know what any of those mean. Yeah, mine aura. Barbie aura. Yeah. What else? I'm trying to. Oh,
he was sunshine.
I think that's actually all I have.
Rain.
He wanted a comfortable. I wanted that bird. I want to go back and see that movie again. Oh my god, that's crazy. Anyway,
I know. I was telling Jeff about it, our stepdad, and he's in this phase right now that he literally like, I think because Taylor's in the football era and like it's like the crossover, so like Jeff's seeing it now a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he's like really like stunned. He's like, I just how famous she is and like how
can't comprehend it.
Yeah, big she is right now. And we were talking about the concert and he was like, well, which time did you like it better? The first time you went and saw the movie?
Yeah.
Or the second? And I said the second time I cried. Like, I even cried the second time.
Yeah.
Like, it was so special again.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't at the first time. Every time I see that opening scene, I cannot help but bawl. And then I look over Janie and just giggles at me. But
because I either get, like, so, like I have to cry. Right. Or I'm like,
oh,
like,
okay.
So, like,
excited
adrenaline.
Doggy, puppy.
Yeah.
I get you. Okay, so that's how you can, because you're just more excited than, like.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, she did cry the second time. I was so obsessed with that vibe.
Me crying?
Yeah, I love it when people cry at Taylor Swift's.
I cry at Taylor Swift all the time, like on TikTok.
I love it when I can watch people cry at Taylor Swift of like good emotions.
Well, I just don't want you to think I like not crying.
Oh, so that's why you cried. She said, "I'm forcing myself to
not
cry
there.
this time."
I'm just saying right now.
Oh, well, duh. We know you cry, girl. Oh, we know.
Yeah,
we see you in your walls.
She sees me apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
do you have anything else for that?
Nope.
Scrolling the notes.
Just scrolling my notes. Anyway, do you have anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So now we are going into the next segment. We need like I'm going to get someone to make us a song that goes into like the next segment of like.
Yeah, we need that.
Now into the topic. Da, 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 da.
Okay, Slay.
Yep. Every time you say like okay Slay, I think you're about to say okay slut.
I like that. Okay slut.
Okay slut. I don't know. Anyway, so let's preface this. Let's start this out by saying I am 26. Jamie is 21, and we are again in different phases in our life. I think we're going to talk about these things from different perspectives. Yeah. Maybe hopefully you can resonate with at least one of us, or just think it's interesting.
Right.
Because I don't think I think some of these things are very universal feelings. Like I feel like when I think about being in your 20s, I just think it's like the craziest thing when I look back on it.
What, in your early 20s?
Yeah, like just earlier. Being in your 20s, period.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. Lately, that's how I've been feeling. Like, wow.
This is a wild ride. It's crazy.
It is crazy because no one ever told me what it was going to be like.
No one
warned me.
No, mom, though, growing up, we had, like, a mom who would be like, you better enjoy your high school years, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's,
I don't
like,
remember
the
her
time
saying that to me.
Yeah, that's why she would, like, make you go to things like dances and things like that. You better enjoy your, like, whatever.
I'm done being her.
Yeah. She's
cool.
Cozy. Yeah, honestly. But and I think like looking back, I wish I would have like done that more. Like as I feel like there's just nothing like not taking it so seriously maybe because it's literally so fleeting when you're in your high school years, you know?
Yeah.
And so or even whenever I guess high school years or like even like early college, like until you're like 19. Mm-hmm. And everything is just so different. Like I don't know, again, just from my experience. And is that how you feel?
Yeah.
Like looking back and like nothing was that deep when you were so young.
Yeah, for sure.
It was more deep.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
And I think like certain things in general, but it's just crazy looking back, like how my brain thought back then versus how it does now, you know, and how it evolves and like just how you change the way you think and your mindset on things. So, I mean, I guess it's really not that quickly, but it kind of is because it's not that long, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like 6-7 years. I guess that is a long time.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But it just like changes so much in that time. You know? Yeah, because I think my main thing on like being in your 20s is like looking back at how crazy it was when you were younger before that, and then like getting to this point in my 20s and being like, oh, like feel like I've said in the last episode, feeling your frontal lobe develop and feeling yourself kind of like change and come to your own like not opinions, because I guess I've always had my own opinions, but like, you know what I mean, like just your own way of thinking in a different way.
Yeah.
But I think like I have so many song lyrics to reference for this. Okay, because I think when I think about this episode, okay, never mind, I'm gonna let you give your opinion on it first. Like, what do you think when you're thinking about your 20s as like someone who's just freshly in your 20s?
Well, like lately I think we were talking about this the other day on the podcast actually, and of like how like Enya on the what's it called, emergency intercom, was saying like, God, where did my brain go? I'm like losing it over here.
You got this. You were good. Just take a deep breath. Everything's fine.
I'm present.
You're in a safe space.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that. You really got the vibe across.
Vibe check. We should have brought incense.
Yeah.
That's what we should do when we get our new little studio thing set up.
We should really make
that would be
like
a vibe.
Have candles all over.
Oh my God. Yes, we're doing that.
Literally such a vibe.
We are so going off course. Anyway, sorry guys.
That was like
back to it.
Julie and us.
Yeah. Back to serious.
She was saying how we're all little babies basically.
Yeah.
And like how if you're 21, you're only a year into your like adult, like into your 20s.
Yeah.
Essentially you're a baby.
Yeah.
And it really put that into perspective for me. But other than that, like that's been like calming my nerves lately of like I don't have to have everything figured out.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like my perspective as of lately is like how everything is just like a roller coaster of like one day I'll feel so okay and like feel so like fine and like what I'm doing, where I'm at, what like anything.
Yeah.
And like what I'm doing in school and like all of it and like what's like how much money I have.
Yeah.
And then the next day you're like, oh my God, I need to have more. I need to have more. I need to do this. I need to do that. Yeah. And it's just crazy.
Yeah. How it fluctuates so quickly too.
Yeah. And I feel like it's either like every other day for me, or it's like lately it's been like even in weeks where it's like I'll have like a weird like few days of like I feel like that, and it kind of just like calms down.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, I got this.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's because your brain is absorbing so much so quickly too. Like I feel like you can, you know, it's trying to work itself out into like in figuring like out who you are and different things. And I think that's like I think it's like sometimes it's not even like I think it's something that a lot of people have to work at, or like you have to work at in general. But I do think sometimes it just happens in your brain and you're like not even really like it's unconscious.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where that like confusion part comes from, where it's like one day you're fine and then all of a sudden you get like this random thought in your head.
It really is crazy. It's like you'll be doing like in the middle of doing anything and you're like you get this rush of like
anxiety kind of.
Yeah, it's like a
I know.
Like I hate it.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think especially like when you're again like more your age and you're like in school or you're not in school or whatever, like because I wasn't at your age, but like thinking about like what you are going to do. And I think like whenever I was you think you have to like think of, well, I mean, okay. You think you're like career based. How about that? Like if you're in school and looking for, or like figuring out what you want to do for your life or whatever. And you're like, I don't know what I want to do forever. I think that's where like that kind of thing comes from, is like this whole societal thing of like, you need to like pick one thing forever. And I think that causes a lot of tension in so many people's heads. I mean,
it did for me too. Like even like outside of high school, like right after high school, you're like, I don't know.
No.
And I don't want to pick one.
No, and
because I don't want to pick the wrong choice.
They ram that concept into your head since we were in like middle school. They have you start freaking prepping of like, what do you think about what you want to do so you can take high school classes that, you know, can go into your major when you're in college. It's like, it's crazy. You know?
Is crazy.
And obviously if you have a great sense of who you are and who, like, what you want to do, and you have like a very passionate thing about that I think that part of school can be great for you because you're setting you up for success. But I think like there are so many possibilities in life, like on every aspect of everything.
Yeah. And I just think so much changes.
Right.
Like your life experiences, I feel like that really shapes into like what you want to do for like so many years. And then like one day something could happen and you're like, wait, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? It's just like
it can change so instantly.
Yeah.
But also like just like from something that is not planned, unexpected, and it's crazy. Yeah. You know? Or just something from that's normal and you just have like an awakening. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, things like that happen too.
Yeah.
And I think like just in general, I think that part of like growing up was so confusing, and like being like I had this realization recently because I don't lie anymore. Like when people ask me what I do for a living, and I used to for so long because I was like so not insecure, but people like I just didn't want to deal with people's questions. Like I mean, they still ask that if you say like you do like that I manage people's social media or like whatever it is, or like do social media myself. Like even Jared will still get it, and it's like, oh, you can make money from that. Like that's the question, and I always wanted to avoid that, but so I would just like randomly say things. And whenever I was in age for like them to ask like what I'm in school for, and like I would be like, oh no, I'm not in school or whatever, and so I would lie and say I did something else. But I think like having all of those, like I feel like so many outside pressures are what cause turmoil inside, because it's like I felt good about what I was doing, but otherwise like when people would
like
ask me
outside of it,
yeah, like you don't want to deal with the judgment.
I even
or,
felt like that
whatever.
During like when I wasn't in school yet, like because I didn't go to college right away. Like I'm behind from people my age technically, right. And like even then it was so much of like, well, you have to do this, you have to do that, and as soon as I went back to school, they're like, there's no talk of push like back. It's exactly, it's not it's like,
oh, you're in college, okay,
oh yeah, you're studying this, nice, and it's not like, I feel like even in those years, I learned a lot from that of like how society is, and like how judgmental everyone can be of like, if you're not doing anything, you're automatically like something's wrong with you. Right. When in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go to school for anything or you know what I mean? If I am not ready to, I'm not sure, I'm not spending money on something I don't want. And, right. You know, there's so many like things that go into that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so then it has you feeling like you're like pressured to figure something out in a way.
Exactly.
You know, of like,
and like the extra pressure of like, like obviously you already don't know.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it really just doesn't help.
I always wonder that too when people are asking weird questions. Like I never ask questions to people that could potentially make them feel bad about themselves. So I feel like I used to think people needed like every single detail to understand you, and they just don't.
Yeah, some things can be like left.
Right.
Like,
and a majority of the time you don't see these people again. Like exactly. That's actually probably one of my biggest things that I've learned. When you're out and you think like people are going to care or whatever. Yeah. I feel like we talk about this sometimes. But like you just will never see these people again. Yeah. Exactly. Majority of the time. Yeah. And if you do, who cares? But like, you know. But anyway, so back to you.
Back to me?
What are your notes you have on this?
I saw someone say I guess it's like the TikTok sound, Olivia Rodrigo. What did she say? Something about like getting what you want, but not
making the bed.
Yeah, it's from that song.
Yeah,
you're not
like
gonna.
I thought I wanted this, and like right?
Yeah, like I have everything I wanted, but not the way I wanted, or I don't know, something along the lines. But that made me think of like how also when you're growing up, I feel like you have this age in your head where it's like you're gonna like. I feel like I always looked up to like my like 20s. 21 to like 23 version of myself. I'm like, that's like in my head of like, I know what she's gonna look like growing up. You have that version of like,
I know. Can't wait to be.
I can't
22, 21.
Yeah, to be her, and like how there's like such a fun life and whatever. And how like sometimes like that in most cases like you don't meet that like expectation or like
right, it's different than what you imagined.
It's exactly, it's so different. It's like, well, you might like look like her or might act like her in some ways, but it's like so different. Like it's not as fun, it's not as like whatever. It's not as dramatic. Yeah.
I always think that when things happen.
Yeah.
It's like not as dramatic as you think up in your head usually. With anything really. But like especially those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good song for this, Making the Bed.
It is.
Or whatever. What is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think so.
So too. I'll double check.
Okay. But there's a, because also I think of the song Nothing New for this. And it's like, how did I think I knew everything at 17? And like, right? What is the lyrics? At 17.
How did I know everything at 17 but not know anything at 2020?
At 21.
22.
Yeah. And I think that song encapsulates kind of exactly how I feel about this whole subject. It's like, looking back, you really, like, even up until 23. Is that what the song is? Sorry.
Yeah.
What?
I went back to the song. Oh, sorry. Smart.
No, it's okay. But Nothing New by Phoebe Bridgers and Taylor Swift. That song resonates with me for this because it's like genuinely when you're listening to that song, it's like, how long will it be cute? All this crying in my room, and it's kind of like,
how did I go from growing up to breaking down?
Yeah.
How can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22?
Yeah.
And so true.
And I think that from 16 until 23, I thought I knew everything about everything, you know?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think now I just know that I don't. And I think like, I mean, I know what I know and I know that I know it, but I think like there are certain things that like you just realize you don't have to know or you're wrong about, like looking back on why people do certain things, you know, like things that used to make me mad maybe whenever I was those ages, or like really frustrate me about people. And notice you can kind of like, once you get to like, once you're getting older, you're like, not every, like just people, like even I've heard people talk about this, about talking about their moms and stuff. And it's like, you realize once you're a mom that like your mom didn't have it figured out. She was just doing her best kind of thing. Yeah. And I think that for like kind of a majority of the people in general, that there are reasons for the way people act and things that people do. And that it's just not as so cut and dry as being like right and wrong sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's the song, like, oh my God, I wrote it. I can't with the notes. Yeah, anyway.
Pull them out.
Yeah, Nothing New. I don't know. That song, just the lyrics in general for it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you know a lot, or do you feel like you don't?
Oh, I know nothing now. I feel like my ages of like, I like know it all of like, I knew exactly what I was doing and whatever was probably like 16 to 18.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like 8 or maybe even like 19.
Right.
And then I was like, my world crashed. And I was like, oh no. I know nothing. Yeah.
Nothing about the world, nothing. And also that it's kind of like okay.
There's like a peaceful aspect in that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, especially when people talk about like on like majority of it was like TikTok that I see of like how people's lives change. So like Kennedy or Eric or like, I don't know, there's so many creators on that app of like who have said that of like your life can just change like in so many ways so fast. Yeah. And like I thought I was doing this and I was gonna and I ended up here. Yeah. And like that's really inspiring because there is a piece in that of like I don't need to know anything right now. Right. And I'll end up where I'm gonna end up.
To be. Yeah. You just follow what you like now and like what you can do now. And yeah. I agree. And I think like within that, what was I going to say? Oh crap, I had something, I can't remember.
Yeah, but I tell me if you remember. Yeah. I feel like right now my biggest thing is like being okay with me. Like that's like all I want. Yeah. In my 20s, I want to be like some sort of like knowing myself, like some like comfortability.
Yeah.
Comfiness. That one couldn't roll off my tongue today.
No, just didn't come out
wherever. Yeah. But like and that makes me feel better right now. Like
what?
Like getting to know myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that I actually heard something recently about like, if you think, like if you're worried about something and you are like, you just have to kind of be like something that'll help anxiety or things is, or like struggles is to be excited and know that there's like an end to certain things, or not an end, but like there's a future to it. And so like, it's not going to always be this way. That kind of thing is that, or like getting more excited for your future self, or when something happens, getting excited for when something happens.
Yeah.
You know, rather than like being nervous if it's gonna happen. Or all these different things.
Yeah.
And another thing that I recently, this was such a recent realization, and we've talked about like social anxiety and like talking to people, like just like that aspect of life in general. I know like a lot of people feel like that, and I've gone in and out my whole life feeling like that. And I have realized like as I get older, I think a lot of the fear in that is like other people know what to say and they're feeling comfortable, and you don't. Like I'm the only one who like is awkward or like and doesn't know what to say to people. And I have realized like watching people talk as like in the past couple of years is that like no one is comfortable, like almost no one, even if they'll say it, like it just comes off this way. How about that? As someone who's like taking things in, is like a lot of people don't seem like they're like fully overly confident in talking with people or like making conversation. Like even like people who you would think are, you know, in life, or people who like work with people all day, every day. Like you meet people who like, maybe I'm sure they like feel fine talking to people, but no one's like perfect at it.
No. And it's like a lot of times is like fake it till you make it, and they just have to do it.
Exactly.
It's like
exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what I've learned, like going to doctor's offices, or like watching like older men talk to like people, you know what I mean? Like that was so random and specific, but like do you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying like people who like come off very confidently, like they are like it, you know? Yeah. And even they seem to like not either like or not be the best at talking to people, and that gives me comfort in a different way. And again, that's nothing against these people, because I'm just saying that it's just so normal.
It is. I feel like I've even asked Mom this question so much, because she's someone like I look up to with talking to people, of like how comfortable she seems to be and like outgoing, and like I'm fine with talking to people and everything, but sometimes I feel like I like, you know, shy away and like you're a little, you know. But she's very like, she can be like loud, like to someone she's just met. And I like look up to that a lot. And I've asked her like so many times in the past of like, when were you always like that? Like when did you feel like, you know, you got that? And she just like, I always remember her that she's like, you just learn, like you just learn it one day, and it like, you know, and you just, it's like, it really is just practice. It's like
doing it more. That's what she always says, is when she had kids, you're forced to talk to people, and like
you just do it.
And
like, it's like that's inspiring to me, because I'm like, okay, so
even
tomorrow I'll just like speak up at work and like you know what I mean, like talk a little bit more,
because it's not that deep and not that big of a deal. I agree. I always think of that with Mom too, and then the older I get too, I realize that she like, you would think like she really likes talking to people, but she like just does it because she has to, kind of
exactly.
I mean, she clearly likes talking, don't get me wrong. She'll say she doesn't, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, just not everything is as it seems. So cut and dry sometimes.
Exactly. I feel like that's like the like biggest lesson I've learned, is like nothing is as it seems. Like everyone who is so comfortable with themselves like could be like the most insecure person, like you know what I mean? It's like always so different than you would think.
I agree.
Like
right, exactly. And you just never know what people actually are like, and that's why I think like, I don't know, there's just so much power in like kind of like not worrying about yourself, but kind of.
I agree.
But also like, I don't know. That didn't really go with what we were saying, like worry about yourself, because it's like, yes, but I think on both aspects, just realizing like nothing is that deep. That's what I think it is. But also the song, I'm sorry if you're living and you're 17.
I always think about that too,
sorry if you're living and you're 17.
That's literally how I felt when I was 17.
Right. That's why I feel it towards teenagers. just in general, being like that age is
really
so
bright
hard.
In here after wearing those.
Yeah. And that's why I think going to the back to like us talking about high school years and stuff, and it's like I think that there's something so beautiful about not having anything to worry about, but like feeling like you should worry about everything. But at the same time, I think it's crazy that it's like I think that as I get older, there's so much peace in getting like into my later 20s, because it's like I like, you know yourself more, you're learning about yourself and like your life and what your wants and whatever. And things just change so much. But I also think that like it's just a different level of comfortability in life, like less scaredness happens as you like get older, it seems like to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I always feel like people say that about their 40s. I think, is it 30s or 40s? I think it's 40s. Or they're like 40s are the best or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like I hear that on the Kardashians all the time.
I feel like I hear both of that. Like, like 30s are like when you feel like really good, and then you hit 40 and you're like, wow, this is like amazing.
Right. That's what I always hear. Like you're just more comfortable with yourself, and you like, I don't know. I just think you just like, or not even that. Like, I just think it's just like, you know, that it's fine, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or you'll get through things or whatever.
Yeah. It's nice to look up to.
Yeah.
I like the saying that someone said that the point of being in your 20s are like to try things and fail at them, and that like really helps me sometimes, because it's like, yeah, I failed at that. Yeah, that's amazing. I learned something. Like, you know what I mean? It's so like a little bit peaceful.
Yeah, definitely. And there like, are so many,
the pressure's like, off.
Yeah, and this doesn't have to be such a like a negative thing. And
right, exactly. And like, because I feel like a lot of people feel the need to be perfect in like growing up in like their 20s, and like again, this comes to like the success and finance and relationships and all of that, and it's like, even you can even look at like a relationship like that and be like, oh yeah, that's like another person like I broke up with, but like now I know more of what I want. Like, it's another failed thing, but it's good.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I don't know, I like that. So
no, I agree. I completely agree with that. And I think like I've heard other people talk about that too, of like when they're meeting people, it's like, especially like people who have had like a relationship when they were younger and they thought they were going to marry someone or whatever, and then they're like, oh, I have to start all of this over with someone new when I'm like in my mid 20s, and like they don't know me as my like younger self or whatever. But I think like, and I've heard other point of views, and I think that can be also so beautiful and interesting too, and like perfect in its own way, because you're meeting as like more of who you actually are, and like learning about who they are, you know, you are actually at that age. And I think you know a lot more at that stage in life, and like in relationships, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I feel like there can be less of like confusion or less conflict if that is the case sometimes. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I don't know. And also just in general, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. You know?
It does seem that way.
It is that way. And I genuinely used to hate that saying always. But the more shit that happens in life, you kind of just realize it.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, wow.
You know?
I was literally just talking about this with someone that like, I feel like even like the friends I've had in like the last few years, like, and some of them like I don't talk to anymore, but I cannot imagine my like the today like version of me today hanging out with those people, like that person or whatever. And like that goes to show of like how much it really does like change, but like it all does happen for a reason. Like,
no, totally. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like you wouldn't have been able to evolve together, or you would have been a different person, you know, in like maybe not a good way.
Exactly. There's like so many. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always think that too, because Jamie and I always say that we are on our second life. Like it feels like that way, at least specific. I think for me, right? For you too.
Sometimes.
Or no? Oh.
I always feel like this is my first life.
No, I mean like our second life within this lifetime.
I was like,
no, yeah, you're a newer soul, but I meant like,
yeah, for sure. I get what you mean. Like, yes,
like since we've been born in this lifetime, we have had one life, and now ever since 2015, it has been a different life.
Yeah, it's
2015
like,
to 2020.
Like a lot of people probably feel like that. Sorry, my leg's falling asleep and I'm struggling.
Poor girl. But yeah.
And what was you saying? Oh yeah, our second life.
Yeah.
It really does seem like that when you look back and you're like, wow.
Like just people that were in our lives and how life changed after certain things happened in our life. And I don't know, maybe people can like not empathize but may relate if you have parents who get divorced when you're like,
or like any major changes really.
Yeah, any major changes, because I feel like a lot happened at once. It wasn't only that, but yeah, like any major changes, whether you move or whatever. I just feel like we don't have a lot of overcross or crossover between that life and this life, like people specifically in our life at that time versus now, and things like that. Right.
It feels crazy.
It does. And I think like that just goes to show like too, like things change, and it's like, again, I'm gonna say it again, it's just for the better. Like, you know what I mean?
It is in time, and it shows over time of like, I mean, like like those things like build almost like a resilience of like in your head when something major more, or like, you know, something frustrating happens and you're like, I don't know, let's say like you lose a job and you're like, dang, why did this happen? Like you're so like distraught over it, but it in the end is like a new lesson and turning point, and the, what do they call that thing? The pivot.
Yes, pivoting. No, literally though.
That's a good thing to bring up too, because I love that. I love the idea of a pivot. I don't know if I mean, I've done maybe once. I've done the pivot once. But
same.
I love the idea that that's an option.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
You know?
Yeah, that you can always pivot. And we always say that too. We will have our mom on the podcast eventually. I promise you. It's been 3 years, but we will eventually. We will. But our mom did the biggest pivot of all time, in my opinion, in my eyes. Like,
I mean, literally.
Our whole life, I'll say it again for those of you who haven't heard. Our whole life, and maybe I'm not gonna. I just don't need. I don't know.
Yeah.
She just changed her whole entire career. Changed.
I think about that 50s. All the time. It's like, and that's a good point too. Is like how watching our mom grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up
as an adult.
Right. Like I feel like there's that's almost like our second life too. Is like when mom like really became like an adult.
Yeah.
But not in that way of like,
she's always
like
been, but it's just a different life.
Really is in a different life. And it's like, that's truly inspiring to me because, and it makes me feel like, wow, I like, anything can happen. Anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And I think like, just all of that. And I think it goes to show like things change, and like everything will be okay. It will be okay. Even like I just think like when you're going through the really crazy, weird, crappy times, it's like you just do not like understand what will happen after things.
Exactly.
And like, and don't get me wrong, some things are just, they're not meant to happen, or like they don't cause anything good. But like some things, a lot of things like change in the change world do. Happen for a good reason, for sure. You know? And something that I think I'm realizing just as I get older constantly, that karma is so real, and I don't care what you believe in. I don't care anything. Like if you believe in karmatic debt or anything like that, I truly believe just in karma and the energy that you put out into the world. It really comes back, and sometimes it takes a long time. We've watched so many people where it takes a long time to catch up with them, but it finally does.
It does.
And that has given me so much peace in life, like towards other people, or like in my reactions to other people. You know what I mean? Like realizing like that some things it's just not meant for me to take care of. That is for the universe, that is their story. Like that is not my business. Like even if it is my business, it's not my business to react to, because they will get anything taken care of.
Right.
That is meant to happen, you know? Or people or they're living with their decisions, like things like that. And I just think all in all, that has given me so much peace as I get older.
For sure.
And I think that I handle things now a lot differently than I did back then. Like whenever I was your age and things like that, I got a lot more fired up about things, you know, obviously. Right? You were there. But like, and I think like you realize too, one of my notes is that you just realize that I'm like going on a tangent for no reason. Can you just go?
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know what that was.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that your notes are over there.
That's why why? Because I have it like my thing is I'm trying to go off of memory of like because I have these like very
I don't
full
blame
thoughts.
you. I literally like don't even know how you're doing it.
You know how you have like a full thought and you write it down and then you're trying to like re-say that thought and you can't. That's how I felt then. Anyway.
Okay.
Do you feel like that though? Do you feel like you're like at peace at all or no? Do you like when you do you think as you get older you react to people less?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like what? You said
did I?
I swear.
Oh,
that was funny.
Do that now. Anyway.
But yeah, I definitely do. Like so differently. I mean, I'm still not perfect, but I feel like I've learned a lot in the way I anything react of anyway, I don't know. But
saying that so sassily. I guess I'm doing it anyway.
I was thinking about what I was saying.
Sorry, I put you on the spot. Go on.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that.
No, I know. It was just very funny. Especially if you know you, I think that's the funniest.
What?
Nothing. But I think like in an endearing way. And I think
it
like
didn't sound very endearing.
No, yes it did. But I think like that's why I don't judge. I think too, like people, like if you let's say get like fired up about something that I personally wouldn't, I see that personally as more of your age and like that's your rite of passage, like that is what you're meant to do right now.
Yeah, and you know that's exactly how in Olivia Rodrigo's other song she said, I know my age and I act like it, and I resonate with that because that means you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have everything figured out. Like you are, like I am 21 and I will act like it. Like I'll be sassy and I'll have like that like fire, like and that's fine with me, like because you know what I mean?
think it should be. I don't think that it shouldn't be, and I just think like in
and
general,
that goes
like,
for anything, like any
right. No, but I agree.
reason.
Just like even when I see people like online, let's say even like younger than us fighting with each other or something, it's like you just like that's their story, that is their like journey, like they'll either grow out of it or they won't. But like I think like that when you're young, like I think like don't get me wrong, like I don't think a lot of things are excusable when you're young, but I also do think a lot of things are excusable when you're young. Like I feel like some people, I've even like listened to story times and stuff where people like are so like they were ready to like fight with everyone, like constantly, like even fist fight and things like that, and then they just like one day they like wake up and they're like it's not worth it kind of thing. Yeah, like they let it pass, and just like that there's like a reason for all of that. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's how I was, not physically fight, but like I would like just like if I like I've mentioned this, if I have had it like if I thought you were wrong about something, you would be like no. You know what I mean? And now you won't know. Yeah. Because it's not worth it. And also I don't like think about it like that anymore. Yeah. You know? Anyway, what were you saying?
You're saying that. But that goes into like forgiving yourself too. I'm in a very like being nicer in my to myself phase. Like if I know I don't know, if I come home from something thinking like being mean to myself, I'm like I'm very much more like graceful lately of like you don't like some things you just don't know, and it can go for any way, but majority of the time is just like I don't know, I'm forgiving myself.
Yeah, let yourself.
I don't have to be perfect, and I don't have to react perfectly, and I don't have to like you know anything. So
yeah, definitely
that helps me.
Yeah, I think that would. Oh my god, I literally was feeling itching my scalp thinking it was my scalp. Anyway, sorry, we're like but no, I think like that's like very important too, and I think like learning like that you. If also like if that's something how you feel in the moment, like and feeling true to that, like that I think is also important. Do you know what I mean? Like stand up for what you believe in that moment, or like whatever the case is. And I think like things like that. And I think like also because there really is nothing like, unless it's like super serious, don't get me wrong, but like I think there's nothing that should cause you to like be like, oh my god, I'm like the worst person ever. Like I think like things like that, it's like if you do something wrong, you apologize. If you don't need to apologize, then you didn't do something that wrong. Like most of the time with things like that, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but I'm saying like in general though, I'm very hard on myself of like how like if I said something weird, or if I did something. I don't like anything. I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
yeah, you pick it apart.
Yeah, I pick everything apart, and I'm like learning like slowly of like, it's okay, like you are fine.
Yeah, it's not.
And you did great.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, right. There
like,
you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's just not that deep most of the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Like, in Noah Khan's song, I stopped caring like a month ago. Since then, it's been smooth sailing.
Exactly.
Since then, it's been smooth sailing. Yep. And I saw a tweet that said, "I knew I matured when I didn't embarrass someone I could have destroyed." And I thought that was, like, I really resonated with that.
That's very you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm a verbal warrior, and so I think, like, I think I still am if I have to be, but like I definitely like I was mentioning before, and so I think that resonates.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
yeah.
What else do you have? Anything else?
Not really.
Either. I think it's just like all in all, it's just a crazy time, and
literally, I think the moral of the story is to be nice to yourself, and that you don't know anything.
Yeah, you literally don't know anything. You're literally stupid.
You're literally stupid,
and that's okay.
And it is.
Yeah. I was gonna say ignorance is bliss, and I half believe that. I think it is bliss, but I don't think it should be. Like, I don't think that's
an excuse.
Like, an excuse to be ignorant. Don't get me wrong. I like on a lot of things, but I think like ignorance is bliss. Like thinking back to like when you were younger and like you didn't know of all like the real world things and like things like that, and it's like so blissful in a different way, even though it's still turmoil in its own way. It's so weird how that is. Yeah. How things shift. Like, you know more about other things now that you know what I mean, but then you know nothing about other things. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just really crazy. It's crazy how life works.
It is.
This life is crazy, y'all.
That's literally how I feel most days.
Yeah.
Like wow.
Yeah, I know. God, she looks beautiful. Jamie just applied some gorgeous Merit lipstick.
I can't.
In the shade Cabo.
Reminds me of I don't wear like any colored lipstick like that, or like not lip gloss, because I can't apply it.
Why? You look great.
Well, I wasn't looking, but like even when I am looking, I can't do it.
No, you look great. You applied it great. I think that's crazy. I think actually though, applying lipstick in a like kind of messy way is the hot way.
Right, and Taylor Swift will say that. Well, no. Like I that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I want to see that picture of them with her.
Oh.
His
with his mustache.
I can't talk.
Did I see that picture? Jamie sent it to me 5 times on TikTok. I think I saw that picture. I thought it was so funny. I screenshot it because I thought Jamie was like trolling me. Like, I thought it was like a joke that she sent it 4 times, or I thought she accidentally. That was what I actually thought. I thought you accidentally sent it. No, she meant to send the TikTok to me 4 times. Then she texted me also. So then that was 5 times. And I said, I know, I saw you. I literally replied, first of all. Second of all, I saw you send it 4 other times.
Well, I never know. I never know if you look
I do appreciate
stuff.
And
I really wanted you to see
it. And I saw
my TikTok For You page though the other day. It was literally like 8 in a row of the same pictures.
Oh my God, that's like my Twitter or like Instagram.
Isn't that crazy?
I have seen
these Travis. It just kept going.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
I actually
yeah, you should post that and be like, guys, do you think a new paparazzi picture dropped?
That was a moment of like, I need fresh air.
Yeah, I got to get off this app.
I was actually in the forest. I was on my lunch break, and I pulled out TikTok, and that was like the first thing I saw. I was like,
what the? You're in a simulation. Truly, that one.
Had to hold on to my chair.
Oh, mommy.
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy. That's my thing with the paparazzi pictures. They just become everywhere, and everywhere they shouldn't too. Why are you posting about it like SNL?
Dairy Queen.
Yeah, Dairy Queen. Wait, what are you doing?
Are Dairy Queens everywhere?
Are Dairy Queens everywhere? I think they are, aren't they? Or at least in the U.S. I don't know. We should look that up. Anyway, well, that is our episode on being in your 20s. Oh my God, gorgeous. And we appreciate you listening so much. And if you're not in your 20s and you're younger than this, hopefully this was interesting. Or if you are older than your 20s, I hope this was also interesting and you can maybe relate to these things and maybe even more on a peaceful level. And if not,
exactly,
your future self will too. Mm-hmm. So we will talk to you guys next time.
Thank you for listening to us ramble.
Yes.
Even if I didn't make sense.
Right.
Thank you.
Exactly. Same. We love you so much and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.